Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Pacharane Nirvisesa Sunyavari Paskyacha Deshatarane Namo Mahabandanyaya Krishna Prem Badayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gaura Trise Namaha Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanitaya Jigaritaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adishi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today I'm going to give an overview, a summarized overview of Krishna consciousness. And it will give you a taste and understanding of what we are trying to achieve in Krishna consciousness, how to achieve it, what to expect when you engage in the practice of Krishna consciousness, how to engage in the practice of Krishna consciousness. And I'm going to summarize it all, and hopefully it will come out very beautiful. We're depending upon the goodwill and the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So the first thing is, if you're watching this video, you've searched out more knowledge, hearing from devotees about the Krishna consciousness movement. So you have an interest. That is the very beginning of how to develop your Krishna consciousness. Is some interest should be there. And so whether you've taken some prasadam, gone to the temple, you've chanted, read some of the books, an interest has been developed. And so you want to cultivate that interest. Your thinking should be, I want to be a Krishna Bhakta. That's all. That inspiration is coming from Krishna. I want to be a Krishna Bhakta. But Krishna, because of his charm, his beauty, and his qualities, he is inspiring you from within like no one else can do. You cannot get this inspiration from any other demigod, from the Brahman, from any other person. This is a very, very personal thing that is coming from the Lord within your heart. And Krishna is external, Super Soul is internal. Krishna is also Super Soul, so Krishna is also internal, and he's inspiring because we are all eternal servants of Krishna, original servants of Krishna. That is our original constitutional position. So it is a natural thing to be inspired in this way. Having taken that inspiration, not fighting it, the call to duty, Krishna is saying, become dharmic, follow me, chant the holy name. And if you take this to heart, then the next step is you will take diksha, initiation, from spiritual master in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the most successful spiritual master has been Srila Prabhupada A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. So I am initiated by Srila Prabhupada. Thank God, is very, very kind and merciful to me. As many, many devotees are either initiated directly by Prabhupada or through one of his disciples. So once you take the initiation, you follow the principles as given. They're called the regulative principles. Now you take a vow to follow the regulative principles of chanting 16 rounds and following the 4 regulative principles of freedom. And so this becomes your sadhana. And so you may have work you're doing, you may have children, whatever your occupation or activity is, you make time for your sadhana. So your time for your sadhana. Chanting is extremely important, because as you're chanting the holy name, it's building within you a fortress of bhakti. It builds, doesn't doesn't stop from after you finish for the day. You don't go to ground zero the next day. It's always building. It's building. It's a special function of the internal potency of Lord Krishna. It builds, builds, it builds. It doesn't, just not stagnant. It's meant to overflood the heart. So your chanting is adding to your spiritual bank account. So this may take time. The very first stage of success, even though you're experiencing happiness, you're going to the temple, seeing the deity, reading, taking prasadam, offering prasadam, even preaching and reading books. All these things are very good. And the taste is there, but the taste comes and goes, comes and goes. Sometimes you're in the material aspect, externalized. Sometimes you're in the internal aspect. It comes and goes, and it's frustrating. But that is the work that you have to do if you're going to become Krishna conscious. This is work. You have to strive to absorb yourself, to fight the influence of Maya. Okay, that is your only requirement. You make this vow to your guru, you're going to chant your rounds. Oh, I don't want to chant today. I'm tired. I don't. You still chant. And every time you overcome the mind, you're benefited. And so you want to strive for regulation, not eat too much, not sleep too much, not eat too little, not sleep too little, attend functions at the temple, take an interest in hearing from devotees, etc. Keep the interest alive, like a fire. You always want to keep it warm, and as hot as you possibly can. So this will go on for some time because you're burning up your stockpile of karma. Whatever, it's not that you're creating any new karma, because anyone who has adopted the path of Krishna consciousness has no more karma to create. That is finished. With regulative principles and chanting, the karma, you're not creating anymore. All you're doing now is removing the reactions to future karmas that have not yet fructified or that are presently there within your heart that are disturbing. And so the holy name is cleansing, cleansing, cleansing all of these misgivings in the heart, which is very good, because through the cleansing process, the mind will become clear like a lake, nice and clean and clear when all these reactions have subsided. And they don't have to completely subside. I know it's difficult to chant all the time. I know there is problems. This is part of the work. And I know that it's not easy because I've been through this. But Krishna is so kind. He rewards us with the strength. Balaram gives us the strength to go on, to go on. What's the alternative? Material life is terrible. So we have to continue keeping ourselves focused and in the fire. The good news is, after some time, I cannot give a particular amount of time. It varies to person, how much chanting you've done and how sincere we are. But at some point in time, the devotion, the service that we've rendered, the chanting, will overcome any of the residual karma that is left in our heart and that is distorting our mind. It will overcome it. We call this the tipping point or the inflection point of our bhakti. Miraculously, we will no longer be combative with our mind. It will no longer be difficult to chant. We no longer have doubts about the process. And there is a noticeable lack of insincerity or duplicity. A change of character takes place where we actually begin to feel like a devotee is supposed to feel. It's very important. It's like we are able to chant Hare Krishna with some feeling. This is the very first stage of steadiness that we come to in chanting. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stage. And now it's pleasurable to chant, to offer our obeisances, to offer food to our deity, to take darshan of our deity, and so forth. There's pleasure in the process of Krishna consciousness. And the next stage comes quicker. And in that stage, there is a clear release of self-absorption and bodily identification. Prabhupada has always taught us, aham brahmasmi, we're not the body, we're not the head, the shoulder, the arm, the leg, none of this is really us. So when we stop identifying with this limited form, there is a sense of relief, like liberation from this prison house. And I'm not the male, female, none of this illusory identification. So what Prabhupada has said comes true. This is the second stage where there is a release. We understand aham brahmasmi, and this is a very purified state, understanding the soul within to experience it firsthand, not just book knowledge, real identification as a soul, not a body. And this brings clarity, and we become very fixed as internal beings, that we're not dealing with the external, but we are coming from the inside. We're coming from the inside, not the outside. The outside, simply regulation, regulated eating, regulated sleeping. The outside of the body is just a temple. We're not coming from the outside. Our bhakti is coming from within. At that point, so much is revealed to us. The mysteries of chanting, the reading of the literature, so much becomes deeper, very deep, very deep. And you feel like you're becoming like an ocean. And this brings so much joy to your life. These are eternal positions that you're claiming through your practice, sadhana. They don't go away. They are ornaments to your bhakti, and you become a real person through this practice. So now when you apply yourself to your practice, it has a new meaning. Like every day you feel new, refreshed, young. Even though your body is growing older, you don't grow with the body. You grow separately, devotionally. And actually you grow younger, because bhakti is eternal. It's eternally youthful. So we don't go the path of the body. So we know that when the body dies, it's just going to fall away. We have nothing to do with it. So fear of death becomes finished for us. We're deathless. Once we reach this understanding that we're not the body, there's no more fear of death. We don't hanker for the future. We are in the present. And when we consider our devotional past, we see Krishna in there. So we feel remembrance. And so that fortifies us. Our memories are all devotional. So everything becomes beneficial and favorable for the practice of our bhakti. And so now that you know you're not the body, you're not male or female, it's easier to begin to understand the rarity of what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. The experience you have at this stage is different than the experience you have when you first began Krishna consciousness. Sure, everyone in the beginning when you first come is Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, and it's beautiful. But when you become detached from your body and you become a very internalized soul, deeper soul, the chanting takes on a whole new meaning, because the bhav, the ecstasy that is coming from the Hare Krishna mantra, by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it penetrates your heart and causes you to experience waves. You can read about these waves by Sri Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the Nectar of Devotion. There's waves that are created by the chanting. Now, what are these waves? Actually, these waves of ecstasy, these bhavas, are coming from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is in the mood of Sri Radha, desperately seeking the association of her Lord Krishna. This is the Vipralamba ecstasy, where Radha feels separation from her most beloved, and this agitates her heart. This perfection of separation is the ecstasy of Sri Chaitanya's Mahabhav. And we know that Lord Krishna's purpose in incarnating as Sri Chaitanya was to taste and experience Radha's love for him. So we, as disciples and associates of Sri Chaitanya, are being given entrance into this bhav of Sri Radha. Entrance. We are being given entrance through the Hare Krishna mantra. When we chant, we can begin to taste this madness of Radha's separation from Krishna. No, we are not Radharani. We are not Lord Chaitanya. We are Jiva. So we are not going to become Radha. We're not going to become Radharani. But what will happen for us is when our bhav is activated through this chanting, we will desire. I'm going to pause this for 1 second. We will desire that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna in the mood of Radha, we will desire that he find that she or he being in the mood of she. I know this gets a little complicated, but it's not meant to be. We want Radha and Krishna to come together. That is the mood of the disciple. We want to mitigate the suffering of Sri Chaitanya's separation from Krishna. So our mood is, hey Govinda, hey Radha, hey Govinda, where is Radha, where is Krishna? We want to bring you together. That is our mood. We want to mitigate this painful vipralamba of Sri Chaitanya, as did his associates. So when he was present, his personal associates, we want to bring them together. And this is what is the highest, most confidential service. It is a feeling in the heart of bringing together Radha and Krishna. So our waves of ecstasy, which is coming from the chanting, is telling us the sensitivity we're feeling is that mood of Radharani and that mood of Krishna, that they want to be together. Hey Govinda, hey Krishna, hey Radhe. Like this, we have that unique position to want to bring them both together, these great, huge, dynamic personalities who are filled with Mahabhav and pure love for each other. And we see both of them. And we have this opportunity to bring them together And when that takes place, we feel great happiness and great satisfaction. And so our heart becomes overwhelmed with love. Now, these bhavas cause like an ocean within our heart. And as soon as, just as Lord Chaitanya, he was experiencing this ocean so often, his mood of separation caused agitation of his heart. And it's ecstasy. Now, this may be hard to understand, but once you are no longer aligned with the body and you're aligned with your heart, which has become soft, then your heart moves with the ecstasies of Krishna consciousness. And you can feel, Lord Chaitanya was feeling this intense mood of separation from Krishna. Now, we cannot feel that high a level. We're not meant to, but we can taste a portion of it, understand it, and we can feel it in our heart. His mood is transferred to us, and it awakens within us a vipralamba feeling of separation for both Radha and Krishna. And this is the fulfillment of our ecstasies. This is the nature of our ecstasies, are the waves that are created within our heart. This is where they come from. This is what causes these waves that Rupa Goswami describes in Nectar Devotion. And so all day, we can be immersed in these waves, which are extremely pleasant and wonderful to feel. They can be heartbreaking in one sense. They can be overwhelmingly satisfying, but they always are there. And they put us into the Leelas of Radha and Krishna, and they bring us close to them and make us a part of their Leela. And so rather than having our mind wandering over useless material endeavors, Lord Chaitanya has devised this method of inclusively or including us in his ocean of wave-like devotion. Never been seen before. These waves of ecstasy, bhava and mahabhav and prem, never ever been seen before. This is a novel expression coming from Lord Krishna through Sri Chaitanya that is being given as a great opportunity for us. So once we get neutralized from our karma, we don't just sit in some stationary place and become one with Brahman. No, we experience and exchange these waves of ecstasy. We exchange. They don't just go off somewhere. They are part of the Leela. We're exchanging. We're interacting. We're speaking the language of Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna. And so we become part of the entourage. And this is how we do it. So these waves of bhav are very, very personal, and they're very wonderful. They're very cleansing. They are everything to us. This is the fruit that we're looking for. We are never looking for money or wealth or fame or anything in return. We are relishing the love affairs of Radha and Krishna directly through our heart. And this is all we ever want. This is all we want. We don't care for anything else. That is the ultimate perfection, to experience these waves of ecstasy. So we pray that these waves will continue, that we can constantly be tasting. Prabhupada has talked about this, where sometimes we are submerged in the ocean. Rupa Goswami explains, sometimes they crash over your head, and you deeply merge into this ocean of bliss. And then sometimes your head comes up because the waves create movement within the heart. Bhakti is not a static experience. It's dynamic. And it's completely fulfilling because it creates newness at every moment. These waves are not ordinary. They create newness to our being. We don't ever get tired of them. They're constantly, transcendentally satisfying and agitating and permeating our heart. And so they are wonderful. And this is the culmination of our practice. This is the real culmination of the practice of bhakti, to come to this stage of ecstasy and to be able to have this, that we can call these ecstasies, that they are waves in our heart, that they have come to shore, that have come ashore to our heart. These waves exist in the ocean of prema coming from Sri Chaitanya, who's Radha and Krishna. And somehow or other, these beautiful waves have reached the shore of our heart, and they've splashed us, and they've brought us into this ocean with them. And we're very fortunate to have that experience, because it's beyond any false ego. There's nothing for us to prove to anyone. This is just, we want everyone, Lord Chaitanya wants to submerge everyone in these waves of the ocean of prema. That's his mission. And as disciples of Srila Prabhupada and grand disciples, we want to taste this, we want to expand this. Whether or not we are actively expanding this movement or not, it will expand, because the sound vibration, the seed, the bija seed of the Hare Krishna mantra has been planted in a good soil by Sri Chaitanya, and it cannot be stopped. The growth of the creeper and the sound vibration of the Hare Krishna mantra is going to continue, and continue around the world, over and over and over again, until it condenses more and more and more, until the ethers get filled with the sound. And this is going to take hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years to fully immerse the human population. And this is what we call the golden age of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Kali Yuga. We don't see that. We won't see that. We're new to the process, and this Krishna consciousness is new, but it is taken hold, and it will grow unimpeded. It cannot be stopped by any demon, crazy politics, nothing. There definitely can be resistance, and there can be some fighting, and there can be difficulty. But Lord Chaitanya will always be successful over the next 10,000 years. And every fight that a devotee goes through in order to keep himself alive, or to preach the holy name, Krishna is protecting. We will be successful. This is the idea. Kali Yuga is all around us, and it is devastating, it is adharmic. This is the only thing that can cleanse the heart and bring pure joy to the soul, and transfer the individual from this Kali Yuga life to Gokul. Anyone who leaves his present life, having tasted these waves of ecstasy, is going to Gokul. You will absolutely be taking your next birth in Gokul, witnessing the Leelas of Radha and Krishna. There's no doubt about that. And all we have to do to get there is to follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru, to execute the practice of bhakti, to patiently wait for the karma that we have left to be wiped out almost completely, not completely, not all of it, just enough where the devotion that we've executed, all that service overwhelms us, the bhakti becomes prominent, and our karma takes a back seat. Now we are in the forefront of bhakti. Now our practice takes real meaning. We can call ourselves a Madhyamadikari, a fixed devotee. Things are different for us. So we want to get to that stage. Patience, perseverance, and enthusiasm, Rupa Goswami says, utsaha. So I feel very inclined to make these videos, and I will repeat this message over and over again as nicely and as emphatically as I can, knowing that maybe 1, 2, 10 devotees will watch this, maybe 100 in the future. And from there in the future, I know this has value. And I want to do my part in spreading Krishna consciousness. So this is why I make these videos. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if you want to talk, to chant, anything at all, I'm here. You can contact me through YouTube, and I will respond with you, and I will respond to you. So I wish you the best on your journey in Krishna consciousness. May we all together cooperate so that each individual can experience these waves of ecstasy that he is meant to experience. Let us cooperate together, help each other together, be sensitive to one another, and be a useful, valuable resource for each other and for ourselves and for the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thank you for listening. Hare Krishna.